Lesson 9.8, solve for side in conjoined triangles. So we've got a triangle inside of a triangle here. If I were to separate them, it would look of course it's not going to be drawn to scale, but something like that. So where this is F, H, G, and this is F, E, D. And so a couple things, it does not tell us that the triangles are similar, but they are, because I see they both have a 90 here in the corner, and they both share this angle here at F. And so there's enough info there. But also because GH is running parallel to DE, I can say that this angle is corresponding to this angle. So there's another set of angles that are congruent. And so we want to label FH is 2, FE is 3. I'm going to label here as well. And then I'm going to have GF here to here is 4. Find the length of DF. And DF is X. So it's easier to see when the triangles are not on each other. It's when they're separate is easier. So we got 2 to 3 is the same thing as 4 is to X. So there's our proportion. But when I'm doing it inside the triangles, I just think, okay, here's the shorter side of the smaller triangle compared to the shorter side of the large triangle. Here's the hypotenuse of the smaller triangle compared to the hypotenuse of the whole, the big triangle. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. All right, number 2 is kind of like you took triangles and you twisted them, like a bow tie is what it kind of reminds me of. I've got to solve for X, and since these lines are running parallel, and this is like a transversal, I see that this angle and this angle would be congruent because they're alternate interior, and it actually works for these two as well. And I have vertical angles here. So I know that these triangles are similar. Now it's just a matter of making a proportion. And so I see, making these lines helps me, 5.6 is the side where I drew 2 lines and 3 lines for my angles. That would go with 4. And then I see 8.4 with my 1 and my 3 would go with X. And I get 6. So kind of tricky because it's like a twisted bow tie. It's where this goes with this and this goes with this. Number 3, trapezoid shown below, OP is parallel to LM. If ON is 10, we've got ON is 10, LM is 24, NM is 18, and OP is 20. Find the length of LN. So I've got 4 numbers here. I'm not going to need all of them. We've got our parallels here. Picture this is our transversal. And so I've got a congruent angle here and here. They're alternate interior. I've also got, these are going to be vertical angles, so they're congruent. So I can prove by angle, angle, they're similar triangles here. And so I'm going to use this triangle on top here and this one. I've got X that's on the side with the 1 and then the 2. That goes the same as 10. And then I've got we're not going to use one of these numbers. I've got my 20, which is going to be the side that only touches the 1 here. So that would be going with 24. And so you can cross multiply. That's 240 divided by 20, which is 12. An easier way would say, okay, 10 times 2, or 20 divided by 2 got 10, 24 divided by 2 is 12. So that one's kind of tricky, you don't even need all the numbers. And then number 4, in triangle PRQ shown below, point S is on QR, point T is on PR, so that angle PQR is congruent to STR. Ooh, tricky. If TR is 15, RP, so that would be this whole thing, is 58.5, and RS is 22.5. Find the length of QR. Okay, so I've got this shorter side here of 15, and this is my angle here. That would line up with this shorter side of the big triangle. So see if I like flipped this up and put it here. So that would go with X. And then I've got this side, which is the 22.5. It's across from this angle that I know, and that would be the same as the 58.5. Cross multiply and divide. I get X to be 39. And last one of these, number 5. Diagram below, angle IHG is congruent to FEG. Okay, I also have some vertical angles here. If EF is 4.8, HI is 3.6, GF is 5.6, find the length of GI. So this one is not where they're really twisted, almost like a reflection over point G is what I'm seeing. And so this 3.6 side should be corresponding to 4.8. And then I would see X is corresponding to 5.6. You get 4.8.